Atletico Madrid against Chelsea. Somehow the bookies have got Chelsea as favourites. 6-4 on to advance to the next round. Atleti then 11-10. Remember, Atleti absolutely flying in La Liga the first half of the season. They have somewhat, just a little bit, fallen off course. Levante being very much the thorn in their side. Drew against them on Wednesday, lost on Saturday. Let's welcome in, shall we, Don Hutchison and Sid Lowe to look ahead to this game. Sid, let's start off with an Atleti perspective, shall we? What's gone wrong with them? They all right?
Yeah, they are all right. I think what's gone wrong with them in part was that this was likely to happen at some stage, although perhaps not in quite this way. Bear in mind they've now dropped as many points in 12 days as they had in the entire season up until that point. But this is not a full-on collapse. In the last 4 games, it's 1 victory, 2 draws and a defeat. But as I say, they've been on such good form. I think it was 54 of 57 points. 50 of 57 points in the first half of the season, that it feels like a collapse. I think in a way, if you look at their results before this, there were games where they were always on edge. There were games where they were just about coming through. A very late winner at Eibar, a very late winner at Alaves, for example. They've gone behind much more often than previously in the season. Remember when they conceded to Real Madrid, it was the first minute they'd been behind in the entire season. That's now happened more often. They're conceding early goals. They've gone 7 games in a row conceding. So there was a sense that probably at some point this would tip slightly. Now, not into a full-blown crisis, but certainly into a situation where they weren't necessarily going to maintain that level of incredible efficiency in winning games that they'd had up until 3 or 4 weeks ago.
And they're coming up against a Chelsea side, Don, still unbeaten under Tuchel, but very, very ordinary against Southampton.
Yeah, just methodical, Dan. They're a hard side to watch, Chelsea. They're getting the job done. Didn't against Southampton. They got a draw, but they were a hard watch. And I think Thomas Tuchel early on, I think he's testing these players. I think he's testing their mentality. He's testing the players in different systems. He put Callum Hudson-Odoi on at the weekend. He lasted 15 minutes and took him straight back off again. So he didn't work particularly hard off the ball. Put Hakim Ziyech back on. So it's a Chelsea side where you're watching. You just think, come on, where's the spark? Where's the attacking flair? They're just very, very methodical.
Get a feeling it's going to be tight in Ali. I can't imagine it being free-flowing, end-to-end, attacking football, 4-3 job.
So Don just called Chelsea methodical.
Yeah.
If you think of Atletico Madrid, you don't exactly feel like, hey,
yeah,
look at them. They're open. They're attacking. They're going to commit numbers forward. And so therefore, if you have an Atletico Madrid team that has been struggling to get results, and you have a Chelsea team that is, quote-unquote, methodical, then yes, you're exactly correct. This is not 4-3. This is set pieces. This is very tight, very tactical, certainly in the first leg, in which it's going to make it physical from Atletico Madrid. They have to get back to that. They've lost a little bit of that, and they've lost a little bit of attention to details. In the game against Levante over the weekend, in a goal that was not scored by Morales, early on, there's a ball over the top from a set piece, attacking set piece of Atletico Madrid. On a missed clearance, all of a sudden, this ball goes over the top 50 yards, and Morales is in a one-on-one situation against Oblak. That doesn't happen against Atletico Madrid, but it's been happening more and more often over the last 10 days or so. They have to clean up those details, and in cleaning up those details, what you're going to find is a team that is going to be very, very difficult to beat.
A team with some injuries as well, Atleti have going into this clash. Sid, how do you see them setting up?
To be honest, it's very difficult to tell you how I think they'll set up because Simeone has shown signs that he's not entirely convinced about the various options that he's got. Now, a lot of this starts, of course, with the absence of Kieran Trippier. To put this into perspective for you, 5 different players have played in Trippier's position. None of them have entirely convinced. I think Marcos Llorente will start there, but Simeone himself admitted that you get more from Llorente further up the pitch, but he's basically got to put him in the right back slot. I think he's got doubts about Lodi at left back. I think he may even have doubts about whether to play with a 3-man central defensive unit with 2 wing-backs or a normal 4-4-2. I think there's maybe one doubt about one of the midfielders. So I think when you look at this it's not at all clear what Simeone's starting lineup will be, and that's beyond the fact that, as you've already said, that there are players missing. Trippier is out. Jimenez is a big loss for them. Carrasco is a very big loss for them as well. So I think his options are far more limited than he would like.
Don, if I was to offer you £250 to give me the Chelsea starting 11, that's a very difficult guess as well, isn't it?
It's almost impossible, Dan. It really, really is. I mean, you know, Sid's picking the 3 through Atletico Madrid. I'm doing the same for Chelsea. And that's why, as Ali said, this is a 0-0. This is going down to the detail. More or less the same system. He seems to love Kovacic. He's his favourite player so far. Thomas Tuchel, I think he plays Kante alongside with him. Marcos Alonso at left wing back and Reece James at right wing back. Up top's pretty hard. I've gone with Timo Werner off the left. Giroud leading the line, and I've gone for Hudson-Odoi because, as I said before, he took him off in the Southampton game. Sorry, he put him on in the Southampton game and took him back off for 20 minutes. And he's since then said some really positive things about Hudson-Odoi. So I'm thinking he's going to test him and test his attitude and start him in this big game. It's a big call, but I think that's the right way to get the player back on side again.
Oh, what if he pulls him off after 20 minutes, starting him? That'd be
Hey,
dramatic. Right, score, Riley.
This is a enthralling, tactical battle.
Oh, no, not one of them. Marcotti will say it's great.
1-1.
1-1. Sid?
Yeah, I quite like 1-1 as well. As I say, I do think Atletico are a bit more vulnerable than you would normally anticipate them being. So I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. Yeah, I quite like 1-1.
Don?
I'm going to go 1-0 Atletico Madrid. I think they get the job done, but make it boring, make it tight.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.